My name's Jordan Terry. I'm with TruLaw Marketing. I'm joined by Cory Tays and Mike Lowe. This is going to be the first of our video series, very casual, lax conversation related to legal marketing and digital marketing. All right, and our first video topic we're going to talk about is actually just how to make and optimize video for your law firm.
All right. And yeah, the first video, this is actually, I think, probably the best thing to start with, of just getting started. Like, there's no structure to it right now, right? Like, you're going to find everyone gets analysis paralysis. And like, I see it in older generations of people who have done business for 40 years. I see it in younger generations. You know, I've been working on businesses since I was 20 years old. And the worst thing that you can get is analysis paralysis. The best thing you can do is just put one foot in front of the other and move forward no matter what it is. There's no perfect formula you're going to have today. There's no perfect formula 5 years from now, but it will be a lot better of a formula 5 years from now after you've been doing it consistently for 5 years. You'll figure it out as you go, and that's, you know, how great things are made. So get the first video done. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to probably laugh at it a year from now, but it'll get you going towards perfection.
Yeah, it's funny. We talk to so many law firms, like big law firms, small law firms, guys come to us with $10,000 production budgets, guys come with us with no production. And the biggest first hurdle is always like just getting them to create a video. Obviously, we feel awkward on video. Everyone feels awkward on video. You get the first video done, you get it down, you are going to feel a little goofy, but then you're good to go. You've jumped past that initial hurdle, the biggest hurdle. That's definitely the thing that we've run into, the biggest roadblock in working with mass tort firms, PI firms, everything in between, is we have all these big strategies. We bring in production crews, we write out scripts, and then we just can't get anyone to shoot video. No one can commit. Some of the most successful video campaigns we've had are with really small firms, really no budget or very low budget production, where we just get a lawyer to get on camera for 10 minutes like this and provide some information to his clients or provide information to potential clients. I think that is probably the next big hurdle, or the big challenge that most law firms face, is like, okay, I've agreed to go on video. We want to do video. We want to enter the space. What do we do? Like, what do we focus on? And what we see a lot of folks doing is just doing overviews of their law firm. Hey, I'm Joe Schmo Law, and we do car accidents. And then they get 3 video views, really no interactions. And they're like, well, video is a bust for us. It doesn't work. And there's a big hiccup with that strategy, which is you're not really providing any value. You're just, presenting yourself with the same information that someone can find if they visit your website or visit your Instagram, your X account. Okay, now they know the name of your law firm and what you do. But that provides no real value to the audience. So what we found to be very successful is, rather than doing that, you try to provide some actual tangible value, something that someone can watch the video and get out of the video, whether it's educational, informational, anything like that. Sorry, I should turn off my notifications. There we go.
Good. Are we name dropping on here, or no name drops?
I think we can name drop. Let's name drop. I don't think
that small firm is the one that me and you always use as the example of Keith Law. You know, if you have a car accident down in Northwest Arkansas, Sean Keith is your guy. He's been doing it for 25 plus years. What is Sean, mid-50s? You guys know him better than I. Mid-50s, so like, as you'd imagine, all of his videos are shot like...
In case he watches this, he's mid-40s. Sean's
mid-40s.
There we go. Much better.
Of course, Freudian slip. Mid-40s, Sean Keith. But as you'd imagine, every video is like this, and the quality is not tremendous. I think he's actually put the phone down now, and quality is still not tremendous, but it's effective. I don't know if that's leading to an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 cases a month, but that's substantial for a law firm, a small law firm at that. It's allowing you to compete, and you can see, like, your quality doesn't have to be Hollywood quality out here. It can just be that you're putting your hat or your name in the hat. You're putting your name in the ring and getting out there and allowing yourself to compete with the firms who aren't doing it. And the firms who are doing it, which I think is a necessity at this point, they're the ones who are winning. And the firms who aren't doing it, they're going to ones who are losing. And if they haven't lost yet, their competitors are going to start doing it pretty soon too, and they'll be left in the dust. They're going to keep losing, and the gap's going to get wider.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Sean's a really good example of how you can even succeed in spaces outside your traditional practice. Now, Sean is a mass tort guy by trade, but his primary focus nowadays, most of his practices centered around representing people in single event personal injury, in the Midwest, primarily the state of Arkansas. However, he still practices mass tort to an extent, but he doesn't want to put too much of his advertising marketing budget into that, right? He wants to really focus on investing in providing the best services for his PI clients and his book of mass tort clients. And it takes a lot of money, especially in the digital age, to compete in a big mass tort. But he came to us 2 years ago and he said, hey, listen, I really like this mass tort. Let's do what we can on a limited budget. I said, sounds good. And we did what we could. And we couldn't compete with some of the bigger names, especially the folks we work with in the mass tort space. So we got a little creative and we said, listen, it's a big ask from you, but we want you to do this. Shoot some video related to this mass tort because no one's doing it. And let's see if that's maybe it's a low-hanging fruit. Maybe it's a missed opportunity. Maybe we're wrong about this, but let's give it a try. So Sean did. He took his camera phone and he recorded video like this, just 4 minutes. Took 10 minutes to edit it down, put it on YouTube, put it on his socials, put it on his website. And what happened?
250,000 views overnight, viral in the first one.
Not quite, but he got a heck of a lot of cases. That otherwise people were spending a ton of SEO budget on to get. And he was capturing a ton of cases for basically no financial commitment and 20 minutes of his time once a week or so. So we kind of piggybacked off that and we had him run more of those videos. We did them probably once every 2 weeks and we helped with the optimization and some of the slight editing. But he ended up growing a significant portion of his practice, not by dumping a bunch of money into competing in the Google space, but just into identifying and taking advantage of the space of YouTube and social media and organic video. So that does work really well. It's kind of a gamble. You might have to, he got lucky. We got lucky. It was kind of the first one, but you might have to put out 3 or 4 different videos and the first couple might not hit, but it is that one that hits that changes your entire practice. And what's the cost? It's not $1 million. It's not, full production. It's just taking 20 minutes of your day to record yourself talking about a case.
And especially with that mass tort, I felt like the iPhone quality of the video almost benefited him in terms of humanizing him and speaking directly to the clients and having them understand he's a real person talking to these clients and understanding, what they're going through and also the steps of the process in terms of, filing, what's going on with the lawsuit, and boiling down all of those legal steps into something they can understand and relating the fact that he's the person that can help you through this. I think that was a big part where even the production value didn't matter. You don't need, a whole crew of people and 4K crisp video to get the message across. It can just be you in your office and it can come across as trustworthy because he was being genuine and connecting with clients on a personal level.
Absolutely. And that goes back to kind of my initial rambling, which is finding value to offer. You don't need, and this is something, if I was to coach a new law firm or lawyer on how to create video, it's not start with a big budget. It's just identify a piece of information or value that you can offer people and then format your script or your outline or your video around that value. That's the best way to provide engagement. People at the end of the day, they don't really care if you're shooting on 4K and if you have these cut scenes where you're walking into a courthouse with a briefcase. What they really want to know is a better understanding of the legal processes and the law. There's a reason you have to go to law school for 3 years. It's complicated, right? And most people don't understand legalese and the processes they're facing. And when they're already bogged down with injuries and other time costs associated with suffering from an injury or an accident. They don't have time to learn, this is what the process of my lawsuit looks like. This is what this means. This is the steps that I'm expected to take. So by having a lawyer present that information in a digestible way, lay down layman's terms, you're giving them what they really want.
Yeah, and that's what you guys have heard me talk about this for years now. It's nothing new. It's just the concept, like you keep hitting on value, Jordan, and it's deposits before withdrawals is the way that I've originally heard it. Is you provide value, and you guys know, like I found my accountant and tax strategist on YouTube, and it was from watching a series of videos, and that's kind of where people will find you a lot of times. They're not always ready to file a claim. They're not always looking to file a lawsuit, but they have questions. If they've been in a car accident, what does a settlement look like? Like my insurance company is giving me trouble. What can I do about X, Y, Z? If you're the one person there, or if you're the one that they happen to stumble upon when they're looking for any information, and they're going to find YouTube clips. Check the Google SERPs. YouTube is recommended everywhere. Instagram is recommended now. TikTok is recommended now. You kind of have to have an omni-channel video approach too with your SEO. But if they find you, you're going to establish a few things. You're going to establish, one, that this person, when you're editing this, Jordan, this is going to be a bleep word, but this person knows what the fuck they're talking about, right? And like when I'm hiring someone for professional service or something that's serious, like that's the first thing I want to be confident in, is that they know what they're talking about. Two, you're giving them value for free, which people also love, and it develops this thought in their head, like it did for me and my accountant, of if I'm getting all this value and knowledge from them for free, what can I get if I paid them? Or what can I do? Like, why don't I just hire them to do this for me? Make my problem go away. You seem like you know what you're talking about. You seem like you can, handle this all. I have this situation going on. Can you help me? And boom, that's how you develop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new cases a month, or, at some firms with higher levels with nationwide cases, dozens of new cases a month. And that's tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars of potential revenue for the firm that can be created for essentially free. Obviously would probably want to put more production money into it at that point, but you can get started for free. You don't have to dump a bunch of money in first before you figure out if it would work for you. You can start dumping money in by reinvesting what that creates for you.
Yeah, it's the same approach we have to SEO for our clients. Like you don't have to invest heavily first, just invest enough and most of its time and effort into getting up and running. And then when you start to see a return, you reinvest that return. Then you can go in and you can be like, all right, we got a following. We've actually built people, an audience here. Now let's take some of the money we've made and put it right back in, get some higher production, build more audience, grow and grow and grow.
You invented the tree that can water itself.
But exactly. When you enter this space and you dump a ton of money in initially and you don't have a really good strategy, what you're going to see is basically no ROI. You're going to put yourself in the red, and video is not going to seem like an attainable or useful resource for you.
Definitely.
All right. So I guess going back on the initial conversation a little bit, how to make an optimized video for your law firm. So I guess let's lay it out. What are the steps to making an optimized video or making your first video? I think we've already established you don't need big budget. You just need an iPhone camera, a quiet room, and a little bit of your time. You need a plan of action. You need to take the time to identify some value that you can offer. And you might say to yourself, well, I don't know what that is. There are good resources online. Mike, if you're trying to find a topic to cover for a given litigation, what do you do?
I go on Google, honestly, and I just look at people also ask is like my first step. I'm like, what are people asking about? Boom, there's your first 5 topics.
Exactly. And I mean, there it is for you. You don't have to have a big SEO tool like SEMrush to do this. You don't have to have a research team. What's your service area? Let's talk about a mass tort that, Cory, you're currently researching, which is Depo-Provera. So and I know you've been looking it up for weeks now. So what is something that you can expect to search, and when you search Depo-Provera lawsuit, what comes up and the people also ask?
We can see for ourselves, but one thing that immediately sticks out to me is, how much is the payout going to be? How long is this going to take? What step in the process are we currently at? I think those are the main things that people, want to know, and then also it's easy to make a timely video surrounding that. So
Exactly. So if you're looking, and this applies to PI practices, applies to family practices, really any law or any industry. Take a second, go to Google. It's a free resource. Right underneath the search bar, when you type in your practice, car accident lawyer, Arkansas, you'll see people also ask. This is data, real data from Google on the most highly searched FAQs and long tail keywords related to a given subject matter, generally formatted as a question. Answer those questions. Answer those questions because you know a lot of people are searching for them. Answer them as an authority figure, as a lawyer, and you're providing real quality value and not just another. Go ahead, Mike.
And a broader coverage of that value, and then we'll do a different video on this topic in further depth. But topical authority is what that creates, right? Like, it shows that you don't just know a general level of knowledge about, the depth of fair lawsuit. It tells them that you know, like, the in the weeds stuff, like who qualifies for it, what are the potential settlement amounts that are being tossed around. Spoiler alert for mass torts, settlement amounts are always what the people want to know if they're considering giving you their information. They are valuable clients. You have value to provide them too. Just let them know what that could realistically look like from what you're hearing in the know. Those updates are always something that you won't find when people also ask, but is something that we know at this point is something you're going to want to include on any kind of content that you're putting out there, whether it's web or video. But people also ask will allow you to find what those little subtopics are that are going to help you create that topical authority, which will help you succeed on YouTube, Google, TikTok, everywhere, by just kind of consolidating a little shotgun blast of a lot of content clustered together versus you just got a bunch of random topics you're putting out there. Something's better than nothing, but this is the smartest way to go about it. So we'll do a whole video on that in the future. But yeah,
Sounds good. So you have your equipment, your iPhone camera, your Android camera. You've got a quiet room. You've got a purpose. You've got a topic. We always recommend to our clients, don't script out your video. It seems robotic. You want it to flow naturally. Before you shoot, take 5 minutes to put together an outline so you know what you're going to talk about. It's a rough outline, just like the rough outline we created for this conversation, so that it seems natural and organic. It'll humanize and personalize the video, builds trust. People can relate to you better if you don't seem like you're just reading off script. Then another thing you're going to want to do, and maybe it's not the first video, but over time as you develop more videos, is figure out what your value is, what makes you unique, what your value proposition is for your law firm. So there's probably a number of people in your space, especially if you're in the PI space in a larger market, who are also making video, that are also using these strategies we've outlined. So now you've got some competition. You've got to figure out, okay, now all these lawyers are making the same video. All their videos seem the same. What makes me, my law firm, my practice, myself unique from them? And then lean into that really, really heavily. Cory, who's that guy down in Georgia on TikTok that you love so much? The guy with all the gold?
oh yeah, he's in Kentucky. He sits on a throne, gives people the Saul Goodman sort of perspective on personal injury law, and he stands out because he leans into the corniness of it, which, I mean, it's not for everybody, but for him it makes him memorable. I mean, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I know exactly what he looks like and how many rings he has on his fingers. So I think that's one part where, I mean, you might not, get, a bad toupee and a bunch of rings on your fingers, but you got to find something that, makes you you, whether it's your past experience, your expertise, your outlook, your empathy, anything that can make people latch onto you as a person, I think is a big driver, because there's so much competition in the mass tort space specifically, and also in personal injury across all of these major metropolitan areas, that if you want to stand out and not be corny, you have to lean into the different aspects of your personality that make you good as a lawyer. Will get people to trust you and trust you in a situation where they don't want to be in. I think that's the biggest part, where people that are hiring a personal injury lawyer, it's not something that an average person wants to do. So to be the person that can, save the day and help them out in a situation that they don't want to be in can be something that sets you apart.
Yeah, absolutely. And you sent me that guy on TikTok maybe 2 years ago, and at first I laughed. I gawked a little bit at his whole presentation, but then I looked at his engagement, and then I looked at his website traffic, and this guy's not. He's doing what we recommend. He's taking his camera and he's shooting, or he's having a staffer just shoot on his iPhone a quick vertical video of him talking. And it's a little zany, it's a little out there, but he sits on a throne. He's got a gold watch and 6 gold rings and, gold chains. But he gets 1 million views, and his website traffic since he started releasing those videos quadrupled, and people trust him. They like him. He's funny. He stands out amongst all the other attorneys. He seems like a personable guy that people can relate to, like your goofy uncle. Like, okay, I like this guy. Not only is he giving me information I want, he's got his shit together to back it up. He's got the case results. He's got a good litigation history that I can find online, either on his socials or on his website. And he's funny. He's fun. And if I'm Joe Schmo in a car accident and I'm scrolling TikTok and I see that guy, he's going to be memorable, just like you said. And next time I'm in a car accident, I'm thinking of the TikTok guy who's in Kentucky in my market, and I'm reaching out to him. So you don't have to go to that extent. It doesn't have to be that eccentric, but find the 1 or 2 things that make you unique. It might be that I don't know, you have a background as a prosecutor, or you have a background in defense, or you give to the community a lot. There's a great attorney up in Michigan that we know of that he really leans into the fact that he's very charitable. He's very philanthropic. He gives a ton to his community and to the community of Michigan, and he doesn't use it in a way where he seems like he's selling himself on the fact that he's philanthropic. It's more organic, but he does promote it really well, and people love him. They love his law firm, and he absolutely crushes it. And it's because he found a way to stand out amongst the many competitors in his market.
Yeah, my dad is 73 years old, just starting to do video meets for the first time in his life. He's a financial advisor, but I've been helping him get the right setup and stuff, because I think that video just in general is important. Piggybacking off what you guys have been saying, is it helps you make a connection with people, right? Show your personality. And I've been trying to think of passively back while you guys are talking some non-polarizing figures that epitomize this, but where you can be unapologetically authentic. And there's a few people who do this super well, where I know when I work with them, or if I ever meet them, exactly who they are, right? I've met them and they've never met me. Shane Gillis is our generation, where I don't think he's polarizing anymore, but he's our generation kind of version of that. An older generation might be Bill Murray nowadays, does not give a shit about anything he says. And I know exactly who Bill Murray is, the same way that everyone from that generation can tell you exactly who Bill Murray is. I know Michael Jordan is an asshole, and everyone knows Michael Jordan is an asshole, but he's a winner. I love Michael. It's Michael over LeBron every day of the week over here, but he's a winner, right? But we know he's not the nicest guy in the world, and he's not going to apologize to anyone about that. And so you know exactly who he is if you ever did encounter him. That's the opportunity you have to create with your audience. Let them know unapologetically who you are. The trade-off is you're going to not appeal to a general audience. Most likely you might lose some cases, but I guarantee you're going to win some cases as well, and win some clients, because they know who they're working with when they sign with your law firm.
I want to make it clear, when Michael Jordan does inevitably stumble across this video, Mike's opinion of you, you're my hero. You're not an asshole. It's named after
He'd probably be stoked
Michael,
to hear
that's
that.
enough. That's enough.
He's I've been doing a good job of conveying my brand to Mike Lowe. That guy's, he's picking up what I'm laying down.
It's thank God someone finally gets it. Been trying for years here. Yeah,
no, I need him on line 1 immediately.
Yeah, I agree. Be yourself, so people aren't shocked when they actually do interact with you. It goes to that whole personalizing your law firm, personalizing yourself and your practice thing. I like that.
Yeah.
So there you go. You got kind of the strategy, the outline. Videos, you can shoot as long as you want. We always recommend shoot longer. The reason being is you can take a piece of content. There's great tools nowadays. We'll go into that in another video here. But there's great tools now where you can chop a video that's 6 minutes, and we do it all the time, into 60 10-second clips or into 6 1-minute videos. So shoot longer than you think. Make sure you're well spoken, you speak slowly, directly, and then, from there, the only missing piece, and the one that we see a lot of people fail to apply, is the actual optimization process. So you get your video shot, you put it on YouTube with some random title, no description, no links, and you get 3 views, and you're like, well, this didn't work. And where'd you fall short? You didn't take the extra 20 minutes to optimize the video. And Mike over here is like our video optimization specialist, so I'll let him outline what are the few things you can do to a video to make sure that it gets interaction, it gets ranked on.
So, and I do kind of like a quick basic job of that compared to like some guys who like all they do is YouTube SEO and they'll go in spend hours optimizing stuff. But the easiest thing to do on these platforms, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok alike, is just one, use the features they have available to them. Like I think of Google, because our main thing is just SEO, and I like to think of it like I'm just scratching Google's back. Like they have a very difficult job of understanding billions of pieces of content that exist in the world, websites that exist in the world, and then trying to index, ingest, understand what that content is, and serve it to their user base who is searching for any given topic at any given moment of the day, billions of times a day. Very difficult job. So I try to scratch their back every area I can with meta titles, descriptions, plenty of things we can list off there. But for like YouTube, for example, utilize the features they give you to do exactly that for them. Their job is super difficult as well. Second largest search engine in the world, or maybe TikTok is now, and they might be behind them. Second largest or third largest in the world. It's a very difficult job. You want to have what you're talking about in your title. Step 1, you want to have what you're talking about in your description for the video. Step 2, it's going to help YouTube. It's going to help the user understand what you're talking about or what they might see in this video before they waste a minute watching it even. And then you want to utilize, like I keep saying, their features. Every platform will prioritize the users who leverage their new features, but the features that they give them to utilize, those are their power users. They want to reward them, so they give them views. So chapters are one of those that are kind of older now, but like a year or 2 ago, that was mind-blowing when our clients started kind of seeing their chapters pop up on their videos. It's kind of cool for them to see, but how do you think those videos perform? Pretty darn well, because we have chapters and our competitors didn't. New things that exist now are like YouTube Shorts, like we've been talking about a lot recently privately, but there's a feature you brought up last week, Jordan, where I didn't even know it existed for YouTube Shorts, where it's like, how do we link a video to a related video like I see on some shorts, but it's not like every short has that. And then lo and behold, you look for 2 minutes and here's that feature. Oh, I click on this and I can choose any video in my library from my channel. Bink. Boom, you've linked your content together. If you liked this, click on the video down here and you can see, learn more about what happens with car accident cases or what the statute of limitations is in your state, something like that. There's so many features that you can leverage on all these different platforms, and if you leverage them, you are more than likely going to have an advantage on your competitors, or at least a good portion of your competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you the secret sauce right now. You're probably saying to yourself, I don't have time to make a bunch of chapters and a description and optimized title. And, it's easier than you think with a little tool called ChatGPT. What you can do is once you post a YouTube video, YouTube actually has a new feature where it'll create a transcript for you if you don't already have one. So you just copy paste that in there and say, this is my YouTube video transcript. Create me chapters, create me an optimized description for the video, create me an optimized title for the video. Within 5 minutes, you've got yourself chapters, a description, an optimized title. There you go. You're ready to roll. You've got a video that is giving value and ready to roll.
Bam. Winning.
And winning indeed. And if you have questions about it, if you want to learn more about shooting video, you can always contact us, TruLawMarketing.com, and we are happy to help you with video production, video editing, and video optimization. At this point, video is part of our service offering for SEO because we know it is so important nowadays to compete for legal marketing that if you're an SEO client, we give you video production editing and optimization as part of your package. So if you want to find someone to work with and you want someone to take over your video production, help you out with that, we're here to help if your market's open. So feel free to contact us.
Other way to contact us, comment section below. We will do our best to answer any comments that come in. We'll pop up on the screen, super professional shot, and we'll banter over it for a few minutes and at least do our best to offer some clarity in an area that may be unclear right now.
I think that's about it. We did it as our first time. We got over the hiccups of the first video, and if we can do it, you can definitely do it.
Trust
Anything
me.
else to share? That was pretty cheesy, but
if we can figure it out, you can figure it out. No, that's it. It's not gonna be perfect. This will be far from perfect, but I guarantee the next episode you guys see, it's gonna look a little bit better. It's gonna sound a little bit better. You might have some new features and some new things rolled in there. It might feel more organized, but we've gotten over the hardest hurdle, which is just doing it.
Mike will be in Chicago Bears gear, so it'll automatically be a bit.
Oh man, no. I've got a victory lap to do for the next 9 months until the Eagles lose again. I will not be changing my outfit at all out of superstition.
And be clear for our audience, this is the 4th day since the Eagles Super Bowl championship. I've been on calls with Mike every single day, and he's been in the exact same outfit, sans undershirt, every single time. So
it's good that you're used to it. I don't have to explain it anymore.
This isn't a bit he's doing. He's just regularly dressed like he is.
I'm a lunatic. I picture Vic Fangio. I am that level of football guy lunatic for my teams. So if Penn State and Texas ever win anything for me, same deal. Until then, it's all about the birds over here, baby.
All right. Well, thanks for joining our first video. Like, subscribe, follow us. Like Mike said, leave us a comment. If you have questions, leave us a comment. We're happy to answer via comments or DM. And if you want to find us, we're at TruLawMarketing.com. That's TRULAW marketing.com. All right.
Cory
Thanks,
Tays,
gentlemen.
fact of the day.
Fact of the day. Give us an idiom or something.
Reno, Nevada is further west than Los Angeles, California.
Bam. Cory Tays, fact of the day.
That sounds made up.
You guys can expect that every single episode moving forward. Just got to figure out where in the episode it exists.
There's the unique value we offer. The Cory Tays fact of the day. We'll sprinkle those into the next episode. Be prepared for it. Put together some facts.
They'll be geography focused for the most part. That's my area of expertise.
All right.
That's why we love you.
All right, gentlemen. Cheers.
Cheers. Bink. All righty. I don't know how we end this.